And welcome back to the Rock Shop Podcast. Joining me today is a very special guest, and her name is.
Hi, I'm Aly Sikora. I'm an actress and writer based in Atlanta, and I also produce.
Hey, Aly, so great to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ryan.
So, you write, act, and produce,
Yeah,
right?
I primarily got into acting and writing. Those are my passions. But through that, I've just like started creating my own stuff and producing as well. So that's kind of how all that came about.
That's the way to do it, honestly. I mean, in
Yeah,
this state of the industry, I feel like you gotta just make your own things, honestly.
definitely. Yeah, create your own content.
What have you made?
Well, in terms of films, there's a few that I've done in the past, and there's a few that I'm working on. One thing that I did last year, I'm not so much a theater person. I'm more based in film, but I did produce a play last year, and that was a really like memorable experience for me. It's actually kind of crazy. There's like a whole backstory as to how I even fell into. First of all, like getting involved in theater. Like I did some when I was a kid, but not professionally or anything like that. So like how I got into that and how I like jumped into producing and all of that. But basically during COVID, I was in a virtual acting class, and how the class was structured was you pick basically any scene or monologue that you want to work on from any script. You work on it for about a month and you get a critique. And so I chose to do a monologue from The Miracle Worker, which is the story of Helen Keller and Annie Sullivan. It's like a Tony Award winning Broadway play. It's a lot of people are familiar with it. But I just really connected with the character and I liked the story. So I chose to do that for one of my sessions. And I thought that was going to be it. Like I was going to come into class, get my critique, and then be done with it. But my teacher was extremely encouraging about it. And she was like, oh, once COVID is over, you need to produce this play and you need to play Annie Sullivan. And I was really taken aback because I had never produced anything in my life at that point. And like, I just like was not expecting her to say that at all. Like it completely threw me off guard. But then I got thinking about it and I was like, you know what? She actually has a really good idea. And I dove into it a little further and I decided to go ahead and do it. But basically, there's a few reasons why I realized that she actually had a good idea. One of them is I had been funding a water well in Eswatini. Now it's been about a little over 3 years since I started, but I am funding the well through an organization called Thirst Project, which is the world's largest youth water organization. And I have a little bit of a history with the organization. I was an ambassador for them during the 2021-2022 school year. And so I went around and I educated students, middle school, high school, college, both virtual and in person, about the effects of the water crisis. And so I was very familiar with that. And as my year of service was wrapping up, I had the opportunity to go to LA. That's where they're based for their annual legacy ball. And so it was actually the day that I was coming home from that I had this feeling of, okay, like I'm done. Like I did what I set out to do this year. And then almost immediately after I had that thought, I was like, wait a second. I'm not going to spend a year of my life talking about this to students and then not fund a well myself. And so I no longer am an ambassador for the organization. I'm still connected with the staff out there, but this is just something that I've been doing on my own time to give back and to support the organization. And also just like being firsthand, like spending the year learning all about it and having a lot of firsthand experience. Like it's hard not to become passionate about something when you're that involved in it. And so that was one thing when I was thinking about like the story of Helen Keller. It seems unrelated, right? But what's interesting is the first word that Helen ever learned to sign was water, and it was at her family's water well in Tuscumbia, Alabama. And so I thought if I produce this show and I have the mission be to fund the water well through the tickets, then like that kind of correlates with that, and I can make that kind of the center of it, which the water well in the show is like it's literally the center of the entire show, like everything about it, but also literally it's like in the center of the stage. And so I could use that with the mission. And then the other thing is I just really connect with the character of Annie Sullivan because like everybody pretty much knows the story of the basic story of Helen Keller. But what I feel like gets lost a lot is her teacher, Annie Sullivan. She was also visually impaired. And it's not entirely clear what she had, but just based on how it's written in the play and what we know about her historically, it sounds very similar to what I have, which is called Stargardt's disease. It's a very rare condition of the retina. But even if she didn't have that, like still, it's very relatable. So I really felt connected to the character, and I could also use that to like build awareness as well about like blindness and eye diseases and stuff like that. And so it all kind of came together. And so I decided to go through with it. So I ended up producing, directing, casting, and playing Annie Sullivan. And I found I really loved casting. Like, I just loved my cast so much. They were phenomenal, they were amazing. And it was just so much fun to work with them. And like the process of how I found all of them was just like really special as well. So it was just all around a really good experience. And another thing was it's $25 is what will provide one person clean water for life in Eswatini. And that was what the tickets were cost. So every single person that was in the audience was basically representing a person in Africa that now has clean water because of their attendance and their support. So that was also something that was really cool to look out in the audience and like see all the people there and like see what that represented. So that was a really special experience. I don't think I'll ever do anything quite like that again, just because like to produce, direct, like do all of that in a live show is a lot to take on. And I mean, I loved it, but if I did that forever over and over again, like I would like not have any time at all. So I think it was just a once in a lifetime experience. And also I am more focused on film. I don't technically do theater, but yeah, that was one thing that meant a lot to me and was really interesting to see how the whole process came together. Um, but yeah, and then in terms of films, actually shortly after The Miracle Worker wrapped up, I ended up going to Spain and doing it's called the Camino. You might be familiar. It's a
I'm
hike
not.
in Spain. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well,
It's
to be fair, you did tell me, but the audience is not.
yeah. The audience might not be. Yeah. So it's well, you can start really anywhere. There's different routes. The main route is the French way, which if you did the whole thing, it would take about 3 months. But the group that I went with Atlanta, we hiked for about 5 or 6 days. So we did like the last part of the French way. So we started in Spain, but you hike every day. You end up it ends at a cathedral, and so it was a really nice thing after like several months of working on the production to then just like go and like be carefree and just be able to walk all day and meet community with other people as well. And we were basically all from Atlanta for the most part too, so it's like you get to really get to know people and then you basically go home with them too so you can continue building those connections. But yeah, so I went did that like really shortly. It was probably just like a week or two after The Miracle Worker ended. And then right after that, I started working on a short called Fountain. And that was also like the premiere in the film was to raise money for the water well in Eswatini. But that was an original that I wrote. And it's kind of funny. I kind of tied it in. So like it's called Fountain. It's loosely based off of a true story. I say loosely because so many elements were changed that it's no longer an actual true story. But of an experience that I had when I was in Rome. And so it's like Fountain, Trevi Fountain, but also the film takes place partially in Georgia at a fountain there. So yeah, I just kind of tied that in. I ended up dedicating it to my grandmother who passed away, who meant a lot to me. But yeah, it was just another opportunity to just like create something and make it for the well. So I hosted a premiere earlier this year called Fountain Premiere Festival, and found like it's about an 8 minute short. That was the main event of the festival, but then I also screened some other projects as well. So that was a 2 day event, and that was pretty cool. So like those are my main projects that I've done specifically for the well, other than just like minor like fundraising things. But all the other projects that I've worked on has mostly just been just like getting people together, having fun, trying things out. Not so much mission based like those two projects were. But yeah, just like love like getting together, collaborating, and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm kind of curious. Where was the little film festival held? Like, where was it?
Yeah. It was at the Warehouse, which is a theater in Scottsdale. I would technically think it's Atlanta, but I guess it's Scottsdale, Georgia. But yeah, it's just a nice little venue. It's like the east side of Atlanta.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with that or
Okay.
Scottsdale. I heard
Yeah. Yeah.
Scottsdale. Thought you were talking about like Arizona or something.
Right. Yeah. No, I would literally just say this is East Atlanta, but apparently it's technically the address is Scottsdale, Georgia. It's very
Hmm.
small, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, you donated to the well, and I donated to the well. So all the
Yeah.
cool kids are doing it. So here I am peer pressuring the audience to do it too.
Yeah. And I appreciate you donating as well.
I appreciate you because it's very nice philanthropic work that
Thank
not
you.
not everyone's doing, and it's a very good cause.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so it's been a little over 3 years now, and it's two-thirds, oh, slightly over two-thirds of the way funded. So it is getting there. It's a process, but getting closer. But what's really cool about Thirst Project, first of all, they have a 100% model. So 100% of every dollar donated goes directly to the well because they have board members that are able to take care of all the logistics to run the organization. So it's very like mission focused. So that's something I really appreciate because I know it's very difficult to like match that. A lot of organizations don't have that type of support. Um, but also, it's really cool as the communities in Eswatini and other places where they have funded wells, they can actually recognize who funded the well from them. A lot of times it's high schools, colleges, it's very student based. So a lot of times it's like student groups. It could be a key club, it could be like a whole high school class. It varies, but they can actually go and visit as well the wells. So it can be a very personalized experience, which I also think is really cool. Yeah, it's so like close to my heart as I was saying because I've been involved specifically with the organization and like seeing the impact up close. So like when you know so much about it and you've had all these experiences with students, it's like it's really hard not to become immersed and like passionate about something when you've like seen it, you know.
For sure, for sure. So I'm curious, what would be like a dream project for you? Um, I guess acting or writing, you know?
Yeah. Well, one thing is I would really love to be in a Lifetime movie. I just
Really?
think yeah, like they're so realistic. They're so interesting to me. And I actually had an opportunity recently to audition for one, so that was really exciting. Um, but yeah, I think that would be like one of the more like goals right now. But I haven't done a feature yet. I've only done short, so definitely
Huh.
doing a feature too. Yeah. In terms of writing, I've mostly lately been writing shorts and producing them. But before I really got heavy into film, I used to write novels, and I'd love to get back into that or at least do something because I haven't actually published anything I wrote. I just have them, so I would love to kind of dive back into that. It's just been hard to find time, but I would love to write more. I have so many ideas that I could just like it's so funny. Like I actually was this is kind of a little off topic from that, but I actually am in pre-production right now for a film that we'll be shooting in 2026 that I'm co-producing, and
Ooh.
I had a meeting with the other producer and another one of our friends who will be acting in it, like back in March or April, and so we kind of just like bounced out ideas. We basically left like back in the spring having the basic outline, the basic idea of where we wanted the story to go. But I just didn't have time to write it. But it was literally all in my head. And so in the past few months, I had like 2 days that I actually had the time that I could sit down and write. And I like wrote the whole thing. And then my fiance read it and he was like freaking out because he's like, how did you write all this like so fast? And I was like, well, I really didn't. Like, it's all that's been in my head. I just didn't. And we like planned it together with our group, but I just didn't have time to write it down. So like I feel that way about a lot of like ideas that I have for novels and stuff. Like if I had the time to sit down and write, I could just finally get it all out. But they're all in my head, and some of them I've had for years, and it's not like I'm just randomly coming up with them, but I just don't have the time to like sit and write all the time.
How
But
fast did it take you to write it?
it was 2 days.
Wow.
So yeah. Yeah, it's like 13 pages. But like I said, I didn't come up with all of the stuff on the spot. Like I had been thinking about it since like last spring. I just didn't write it down. But yeah.
Oh wait, I thought you said it was a feature.
That is not, no, that's a short.
Oh, okay.
13
Okay. I
pages.
thought
Yeah,
the
13
feature you
pages.
wrote in 2 days is like, whoa,
No, no,
that's
no.
crazy.
Yeah.
I think the fastest time for me to write a feature was like 6 days, but that
Yeah,
was
that's
like all I did every day, and it ended up being
right.
like
Yeah.
90 pages, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
So you have novels that you just wrote, but like they're not anywhere, basically.
Right. Yeah, because
What?
I just got so busy. And then I transferred into film. So I've been just more focused on that, but that's definitely like life goals of mine to get more into like back to writing novels and actually doing stuff with them.
Well, you could like publish them digitally. Like,
Yeah.
I'll connect you with a buddy. He
Okay.
does ebook readings or audiobook readings, and
Mhm.
um, like I don't know the process, but I believe like
Yeah.
Amazon, they'll I think you just publish on there for free, and I don't
Yeah.
know like how much you get paid. Like that's something you'd have to. I'll connect you with them,
Okay.
but
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. I know there's like self-publishing and all different types of avenues.
yeah, you
I
could
have things that are just
self-publish
sitting around. Yeah.
and then pay like a book talk person to like promote it. I feel like
Yeah.
that's something I do because I have like a novel that's like 100 pages long about.
Nice.
But yeah, just it takes so much time, and
Yeah. It's
um,
just like finding the time.
it's not as satisfying as like writing a page of a novel is not as satisfying as like writing a page of a script because you write a page of a script and that's pretty nice. It takes you like no time.
Yeah.
I mean, it could if you're figuring it out, but I wrote a few pages of a very secret project you might know a little bit about
I
today.
might. Yes.
I wrote like 5 pages today in maybe, I don't
Nice.
know, like 20 minutes. And
Yeah.
that feels nice. But you write
Yeah.
like 5 pages of novel, and that might take you like, you know, an hour or two. If you
Yeah.
like, if you're really obsessive about like getting the diction right, um, you know, getting just the right words, the right way of expressing yourself. I mean, that takes a while. So
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know how like R.L. Stein does it, where he just like cranks Goosebumps out every year, multiple books a year. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Um, it's super cool. So peer pressure the audience, and I'm peer pressuring you
Yeah.
to publish because I
No,
want to read it.
I definitely like you don't really have to pressure me as much as you might think. It's just like it's just been finding the time, honestly. But yeah, no, for sure.
There was a guy once when I was working retail. It was just an old guy, and it was really slow this day. He was the only customer, and I can't remember why. I think I was just small talking with him. I was like, "Yeah, I'm reading this book right now," and like, well, not at work obviously, but hey, I'm reading this book over the weekends. And say it's pretty good. And he was really fascinated by that I was reading. I guess he
Yeah.
just didn't think young people read.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so he kept asking me about like just what I read and stuff I'm into.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, right here, I have something for you." And he runs his car and he runs back in and he hands me this giant like book. Like it's like 800 pages or something. And I was like, "Oh no, dude, like you don't have to give me this." He's like, "No, I want you to have it." and it had this really long title and had like a guy's name. And it was like Humongous or something. Like it
Yeah.
was some guy's, some random name. Um, and he's like, crack it open. And I'm like, okay. And it was autographed as like, dude, Jerry, what the heck, man? Like, no, you don't have to give me this, dude. It's autographed by you. Mungus, I guess. And he was like, you know what? You want to know why I want you to have it? Because I'm humongous. Humongous is me. I was like, what? Dude, what are you saying? What's happening?
Yeah.
And it was like a pseudonym. Humongous was a pseudonym. And he just had a car full of these autographed books, his own
Oh,
books. And
yeah.
sorry to say, I did not actually read it. I still
Oh,
have it. I
yeah.
didn't finish it. I read a few pages, and then
Yeah.
I have like 1,000 books I haven't read
Right.
yet. So I feel
Yeah.
kind of bad about that, but that was
Well, you
kind of
can, yeah.
funny.
Yeah, you could always go back and read it later.
Do you use your own name or do you have a pen name?
I just use my own name.
Yeah. I don't know why that guy was so secretive. Why, like, I'm kind of like sussed about Jerry, like, why he wouldn't. And it was a ridiculous name, like Humongous or
Yeah.
like Gary Sparkle Pants or some shit. I was like, buddy, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to ask him, like, I need him on the podcast. Like, hey, man, why'd you choose that name? But
Yeah, that'd be interesting to find out. I'm sure there's some sort of story to it.
I could have a pseudonym and my name would just be Brian. Like,
There you
they'd
go.
never figure it was me.
Right.
What genre do you write, like in novels?
Um, I write it's like I wrote a lot of more like coming of age type novels, kind of like drama based. It's kind of hard to explain because I'll like have certain elements when I'm writing stories, like especially longer ones like novels rather than like short films, but that like a lot of things end up connecting. Like there's a lot of things that are happening that like make sense to the story, but they don't seem related. And then like as it go on, it's like, oh well, this is actually connected with this, which is connected like this, kind of like a web. And then it all just kind of like comes together. I just kind of like writing in that format. But yeah, I mean, I guess I haven't really labeled my novels as much, especially because I haven't, publish them to try to like market them or anything. I feel like that's when I'm like, okay, like what exactly is this? I kind of just write like what I'm thinking or feeling and like putting things together. I have had some ideas for some more like I don't know if I necessarily say they're thrillers, but more like suspense or mystery type. Those are some of the ones that are like in my head that have been in my head for years. But there's a couple, like there's one called Laska that I wrote in college, and that's more of like drama coming of age. But yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I like drama. I feel like I write drama too more than anything. I like
yeah,
coming of age,
hmm,
but I don't know. It's like hot on TikTok. I feel like romanticy. That's the big thing now.
yeah,
Hmm. I read I pretty much just read the stuff they make you read in high school.
right, yeah,
Like that's still pretty good to me.
yeah,
But I haven't read in a while anything like feel more comic books nowadays than anything.
yeah. It's weird because like when I write fiction, but when I read, it tends to be more nonfiction. Like
Really?
yeah, it tends to be more just like stories of real people or things like that. I just find that so interesting. But I was like, I don't write like that, so
Yeah. No, I mean I get that though. I
yeah,
like David McCullough. He's
yeah.
got like great books like Truman, I haven't read that. I mean his books are like dense. Like he does biographies on like US presidents. So like
Okay, yeah.
his sorry.
No, no,
His book on Truman or Harry Truman, that's like 1,000 plus pages. And I want to read
wow.
that, but it's like I don't have time for 1,000 pages.
Yeah. Yeah, I like books that are like based off of organizations I support too. Like I have one called If You Feel Too Much, and it's like the organization is To Write Love on Our Arms. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. They had like a
I'm
movie
not.
about it. It's like to raise awareness for mental health, and it's like very encouraging organization to like build community and stuff like that. But they have a book that I really like, and then like I have a lot of books that are by people that I know. Like I either know, like most of them I know personally, or they're just people that I like know of, like I've met before. But like some of my friends, like either they or like their family members have just like randomly written books that they like self-published, and I just like to read them. So I sometimes I end up donating books when I'm like after I'm done with them. But if it's like someone like that that I know like personally, like I like to keep them forever and just be like, "Ah, I have your book." But yeah,
Yeah, it's neat.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't really think I know any writers like that.
yeah,
I mean, I know Humongous, but not really. I don't
right,
know him like that. I met him
yeah,
once, but I don't know. I guess you'd be the first. I think
nice,
people in high school wrote like poetry books
yeah, yeah,
or whatever, but I don't really know him like that either.
right, yeah. Yeah, a lot of the books that I have of people I know, I'm not even sure if they necessarily would consider themselves like, oh, I'm a writer. I mean, I guess if you write a book, it makes you a writer, but like not professionally. It's just like I've done a lot of traveling and I've just like met a lot of people in different like different ways. And so I know people that I, like just from all over, and just like on social media or whatever, I'll just see like, oh, so and so like wrote a book and now I want to read it. It's just like the most random thing, but I enjoy it because I like seeing people like have their successes and share their stories and stuff. So I enjoy it. But yeah, sometimes it is kind of random. But yeah, I like it.
I don't know. I mean, I think if you write anything, you're a writer.
Yeah, definitely.
The only thing that like I think does not count. I was at the bar with a buddy a few weeks ago, and he was really into this girl. So it was kind of like wingman,
Yeah.
and we were just talking to her, and she said she was like a writer, and she was
Hmm.
like an aspiring screenwriter. Um, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm a writer. I'm a writer." She kept saying that, and I asked, like, "That's so cool. Like, I write too. Like, what do
Yeah.
you write?" She's like, "I've never written a single thing in my life."
Yeah. More like inspiring.
Well, she didn't say aspiring.
Okay.
I said aspiring, but
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
yeah. But she wants to be one, but she kept saying she
Yeah.
was, and
Interesting. Yeah.
then she made the admission she had never written anything, which is kind of crazy to me. That's the
Yeah.
one very nice thing about writing is like it doesn't cost anything except for like
True.
time.
Right. Yeah.
Um, on the flip side, I mean, she could write anything and she'd be a writer because you can just do
Right.
things. Like
Yeah.
I love listen to an interview. It was with Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avery. They both wrote Pulp Fiction together, and then Roger did some other stuff. But he was saying like giving advice to people who like want to break into film,
Hmm.
and Quentin dropped out of high school like ninth grade or something. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, he worked at um it wasn't Blockbuster, but it was something like that, another video
Yeah.
store back in the day. And yeah, he was a ninth grade dropout, and he didn't have like a formal education. Like cinema was his education,
Hmm.
which is cool. And Roger, I don't know if he dropped out, but he worked there too. Um,
Okay.
and then they just did stuff together. Um,
Interesting.
Roger said something along the lines of in this interview, like, if you just want to be a director and like, you know, have some pride with that. Like, introduce yourself as a director, not like, oh, I'm a second grip, and then, in a year I'll be, camera op, and then, another year
Yeah.
best boy. He was just like, you waste so much time doing things you don't really want to do. And that's
Hmm.
better said than done, but like I
Yeah.
do agree with that. Like you could be a director, might not be, Tom Hanks or something starring, but
Yeah.
you could direct anything and be like, hey, just
True. Yeah.
fool
It's just
around
all
with a
about keeping
camera.
it. Yeah, for sure.
And it's never too early to start. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know, did you go to film school?
I went to the New York Film Academy and did a workshop program.
Wow.
So, yeah, I have a degree in something unrelated. I have a degree in human development, but I did like acting for film as a workshop. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, like if you're in college, like definitely that's the best time to work on things. Like I wrote my first few scripts in college, and then I ended up
Nice.
making one. So
Yeah. Did you study film in college?
no, I did not. I went to
Okay.
Florida State. They have a really rigorous film program there, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like I don't think I know anyone in the industry that went there.
Yeah.
Um, who like was in the school because they only admit like 20 people or something,
Oh, okay.
and they're really high and mighty because their alumni is Barry Jenkins, if you know who that is.
I think I've heard of him.
He did he did a little movie called like Medicine for Melancholy in like 2008, and then that was kind of it for a few years, and then uh his big movie Back on the Saddle was Moonlight, and that won Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
They did when Bill Street, if Bill Street could talk, and his most recent work was The Lion King 2. So he's like a
Oh,
Disney guy
okay.
now,
Yeah.
and not the cartoon, obviously the
Yeah.
new live action one. I did not see it.
I think I saw it. Is that like a few years ago? Few
No,
years?
that was like last winter.
Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't see it then. I saw one. I think it was a live action Lion King, but it was like a few
That
years.
was summer 2019.
Yeah, that was the
And
one I saw.
they did it. Yeah, I heard that was horrible, so I didn't see it. I didn't see it because
Yeah.
it's like, what's the point? But they made a sequel to that, but it's not based off of. They made a Lion King too, back in the day,
Yeah.
Simba's Pride or whatever. But the new one's not based off of that. But the new one is done by uh, Barry Jenkins for some reason.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So interesting uh,
Yeah,
trajectory there. Interesting career trajectory.
definitely.
Now I'm curious too. I don't think I've ever seen a Lifetime movie in my life.
Really?
No, I don't think I have. I remember you said that, but that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, you should check one out. I haven't kept up, like I haven't seen some of the more recent ones, but they're good. It's interesting how they're just so I don't know how to explain other than they just feel so real. Like they're just so authentic.
Are they like Hallmark Channel movies or like what?
I I, I don't like I would say Hallmark's a little bit different. I think Hallmark's not as raw as Lifetime.
Yeah, Hallmark is very like saccharine,
Yeah.
It's very perfect life-ish.
Yeah. Lifetime's like the opposite of that. It's like
Huh.
they're like tries to bring in like truth. I mean, sometimes they have real stories like Homeless to Harvard was Lifetime, which is a true story. But a lot of times there's like mysteries and things that are fiction. But even so, they're just like they're really bringing like the rawness of life and like I just really like them.
Yeah, that's interesting because
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I've met someone who's like really into like Lifetime movies.
Yeah.
Like you hear people into like, oh, I'm in a Hallmark channel, but a
Hmm.
lot of time like they're also not into movies. Like those are the only movies they watch.
Oh yeah.
Huh. I don't know. I guess yeah, I'd watch a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, just check one out.
they're kind of like, made for TV and they're
Yeah,
not really like, big budget though, right? They're like kind of like more almost kind of indie.
exactly. Yeah.
It's
I
cool.
always thought they were SAG for some reason, but I recently learned that they're non-SAG. So,
Really?
yeah. At least I don't know
That's
if all
huh.
of them are, but at least like a majority, and the one that I auditioned for was. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
They filmed here?
They filmed in Florida, but
Do they what?
I don't know if they always film in Florida, but at least the one that I was auditioning for was filming in Tampa.
There's a lot of lore here that I was not aware of. That's
Yeah.
interesting that they don't hire union. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably like a business reason, like maybe they're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, we don't have to give anyone royalties.
Yeah, it's probably something like that. I just thought that was very interesting. I just always assumed that they were.
Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know. Are you in SAG?
I'm not, no.
Okay. Yeah, I know that's kind of can of worms if you're like casting, you have to like, well, I
Right.
don't know
Yeah.
in Georgia if it's right to work. Since
Yeah,
it's
Georgia is right to work. So
I don't know if like does it matter if like they're SAG or not if
I
you're
think
like
it still
casting.
does because so if they are SAG, you still have to follow all the guidelines.
Uh
But yeah, being in Georgia is kind of interesting because like an ultimate goal of mine would be to be SAG, but you just don't want to join too soon in Georgia because then you're going to miss out on so many opportunities.
yeah.
So it's like you're kind of like, okay, but it's like you kind of have to pick and choose. But yeah, I would love to be SAG down the road, but I'm not in a rush because I just want to like take advantage of all the indie work and stuff that's happening here.
Yeah, and I don't know, more and more people just saying like indie's the way to go now anyway, like
Yeah,
in this town.
yeah, definitely here. And I love indies.
Yeah.
I really love
I like them
indies.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, like I don't know if I could ever do like a whole SAG affiliated thing because like there's so much
Mhm.
paperwork and
Right.
like I think I read if you hire like one actor
Yeah, yeah.
in it, then it's first of all it's like a headache dealing with like the union stuff. Then it's like you have to send them like W-2 forms in tax season and you gotta like mail them that and
Yeah.
it's so much like extra things. It's like, well, I don't know. I don't know
Right.
like
Yeah. Especially on the production side of things, it's a lot, definitely.
yeah. That's a tricky thing. Like
Yeah.
producing's crazy.
Yeah. Like as an actor, like there's definitely, of course, a lot of benefits to being SAG because you have protection and, you're being like the benefits and it's all like aligned, but also you miss out on all those opportunities. And if you're on production side and you're used to doing indies and then like you hire a SAG actor, there's a lot to learn and there's a lot to do for sure.
Yeah. Have you ever like done a production with that? Or for like your theatrical show, was that something like because I don't know how that works. Was anyone in like a theater actors guild or something?
No, all of my actors were non-union.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I just needed to get the license to get the rights to produce it, and that was all.
Was that
And then I
tough?
just no, you just inquire and you pay basically, and you just have to follow. Like I'm not allowed to post videos of it online or anything since it's copyright.
And
But
that's rough because it's like for preservation. Like that's
yeah,
I don't know. I have a buddy, and it really frustrates him, I think, the lack of preservation in like the theater world. And I totally get
yeah,
that. Um,
yeah,
it's wild, like, I don't know, I want because I'm pretty newbie about
hmm
that kind of stuff. Um, it's like I'd want to see a show. It's like the only like show doing it, or the only way you could see the show is if you go to like Oklahoma City, go to this one theater and
yeah,
you can't see it. You cannot see it online, even though like one all these Tonys. That's
yeah.
crazy.
Well, that's kind of why I feel like if it's like a protected show, they don't want you to just be able to go see it without, you know, but
I guess it's kind of
yeah,
crazy when you have something like Phantom of the Opera. It's like not everyone can do that, because that's
yeah,
like elaborate set pieces.
right, yeah,
Um, and then that's just kind of rough. Like now that I'm sure you could buy a DVD of because that was so big, but for a lot of things, like what's that Avenue Q? Like I want to see that one because puppets are funny. Have you heard of this?
no, I haven't.
It's like Sesame Street, but it's R-rated.
Oh, okay,
And it won like I think best musical. And I just think puppets are funny, especially if like
yeah,
they're saying bad words, which they do in
right,
this, and
yeah,
they watch like porn stuff. Um, but you just cannot see it, and it's sad.
yeah. That kind of made me think, do you know who Terry Fader is?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, he won America's Got Talent. He's well, first of all, he sings, but he sings with his puppets. So he's like amazing that his like even if he was just singing, it would be phenomenal. But then the fact that he's doing it without moving his mouth is incredible. But he's also a comedian. He's great. I actually got a chance to see him live earlier this year. He did not disappoint. He is so talented.
Yeah, I remember when I used to watch AGT, there was like a girl who I think it was a girl who did it, same thing, and she
Mhm.
was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not sure who she is, but yeah, Terry Fader, he
Maybe
won 1 year.
maybe it was Terry. I don't know.
Really?
I don't think
Yeah.
that guy won though.
Oh,
But there
okay.
was a puppeteer or whatever
Yeah.
a few years ago, and no, I thought that was great.
Yeah. And he does impressions, and at the very end of his live show, he went out and he did like I don't even know. I want to say like probably 150 celebrity impressions just like in a row, like a one-liner. And it was super fast and he was like throwing the puppets. It was like so good. I can't even explain it, but
Wait,
it
where'd
was
you see
really
him?
cool. I saw him in Vegas.
Ooh,
Yeah, he tours sometimes, but his show is mostly just in Vegas.
nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was there when I was in Vegas last. We saw my buddy and I were there. We saw Barry Manilow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was pretty good, and he's actually coming to Swanee in January.
Oh,
Farewell
okay.
tour. That was pretty good,
Yeah.
but puppeteering, I definitely want to check that out next time. I love Vegas.
Yeah.
I was trying to go this year, just I don't know, it didn't really work out. Nobody could go with me.
Oh, yeah. It was my first time. That was like the one thing I'm like, if we're going to Vegas, we got to see Terry Fader.
That's
But
fun.
yeah, it did not disappoint though.
Who'd you go with?
I went with my fiance, and
Nice.
he became my fiance right before then because we got engaged at the Grand Canyon the night before. We were going
Wow.
on a road trip. We started in El Paso, Texas, and we ended in Vegas, so that's where we flew out of. But yeah, we got engaged the night before that.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
thanks.
Vegas is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was our first time.
Man, yeah, I've been twice. Man, it's something else. I
Yeah,
love the West.
I do too.
Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix is awesome and Vegas and I keep trying to go back to LA, but that's like that's a whole trip right there. I mean, Vegas
Yeah,
is fun for like a weekend, but California, if you're there, you want to like take your time.
yeah, yeah. California is one of my favorite states.
Yeah, it's just we're too far.
Yeah,
That's a whole day of just flying home. That's what's killer, like that flight home from Vegas, you know, because I think my buddy and I, our flight was at like 9 a.m. And by the time we got home, it was nighttime. It's like,
yeah,
dang, this is brutal.
yeah. Our flight was like late at night, and then
Oh
we
no.
were overnight, and we got home probably like 6 a.m. But I've like after flying to Australia, I feel like everything is just smooth sailing.
Yeah. I'll tell you that much. That's like brutal.
Mhm.
It's like, I mean, it's not the same, but it's the kind of surreal thing where like I saw Avatar 2, which is like 3.5 hours. I saw
Hmm.
that at like 4 o'clock when that came out, and it was like
Yeah.
December 2022. And that's always what's weird is like, I'm watching the movie. It's like, get it, it's 4 o'clock, it's sunny out.
Hmm.
And by the time it ends, it's 8 o'clock. You step out, it's like pitch black.
Yeah.
You're like, what happened? You're like, I don't like this. The whole day's
Yeah.
gone. But that Avatar 3 is coming out this year, so get that feeling again.
Yeah.
Well, it's about closing time for the rock shop. Ellie, thanks so much for coming on. Uh, where can the audience find you?
Thank you so much for having me, Ryan. I am on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can just find me through my name, Aly Sikora. And also, I will say the film that is in pre-production that I'm co-producing that we're going to be shooting sometime in 2026, likely the spring. We are going to need a ton of extras to fill up a church scene. Like I'm talking over 100 people at least. And so, if anybody might be interested in doing some background work, if you'd want to get in touch with me, you can send me an email and we can move forward. And we don't have shoot dates right now, but we're going to very soon. So if you'd like to get in touch and get on the list for that, my email is castalysikora@gmail.com. That's CASTALYSIKORA@gmail.com. All right. Thank you again, Ryan. It was a pleasure.
And until next time, see ya.